Alright, now we're going to do the TSB 22-2087, the harsh reverse to drive engagements. It's going to mean replacing a couple seals, input and output shaft. Alright, so first step, down here in the bottom of the transmission, you gotta get this planetary out of here. So those scarf cut seals I was talking about earlier, the plastic ones. Similar to what I was saying about these. I'm not replacing these, it's just an example. It's going to be these in here. Just pull them out. Alright. These seals. Get new seals.
don't have a output shaft speed sensor for a DTS6, do you? I don't think I've ever seen one go bad. That's a good thing, these little hooker things you made for your converter.
Oh, yeah. Those things are a pain in the ass to get out.
Oh, it's so friggin' heavy, it's like solid iron. My friend just had his converter rebuilt in Reading for his Mustang.
Yeah?
It's a $1,200 converter. It's a high saw. It's a 5,000 stall.
Drag car, huh?
Yeah, mine's only 2,500. His is 5,000, but his car's in the 10 seconds. His is fast.
I got you.
But, yeah, it's weird. They have a lathe. They cut it open. I guess the stator fins were bent, and you had to change a hub on it. And the hub, I think they're talking about where the converter, rides on. I mean, where the pump rides on. I guess, but I'd like to see their welder to weld that thing together. Must have something that spins it when it's welding.
I think it's like a friction welder.
I
Or
don't
you think it's
think
just a dude that
I think
does it?
I don't know. I think it's something that holds it, and you probably weld it, and something that spins. Because you got to be freaking airtight. It's like can't be no leaks, man. Mm.
What can you do? People like to chat, so I gotta go get an installation tool for that. So I'll put this on pause. All right, got the tools I need. Just got to take the new Teflon seals and install them on the shaft here. One. So this Teflon seals need to get stretched over this. So that's what this tool does, it stretches them. And this tool pushes it on. These are the sizing tools. So once it gets stretched on, you have to shrink it back down. So. All right. I'm not going to be worried about taking apart the E-clutch. I can see it. It's moving freely. These rarely get damaged from the problems here. In fact, the C-clutch doesn't usually take a hit, but in this case it did, so you have to replace that. But for now, I'm going to finish reassembling it, so you know how it goes back together. Also, if that bushing shifts out of place, take a look at these guys, because sometimes if that bushing gets shifted out of place, it'll tear one of these seals. That's most common with the 10R80s, because they also have that problem. But if it has the type of seal, the little scarf cut seal, that doesn't usually happen. It usually only happens with the one-piece Teflon seals that this will tear. But these seals are good, so. All right. First things first. I'm gonna take this part and reinstall the input shaft. Got to get the clutch blinds lined up. Just makes it easier. Still in place. Remember those two snap rings that had that cut taken out of them in the middle? Oddly shaped snap rings. This is where they go. So the first one, so there's two grooves in there that the snap rings go in. Once you put the input shaft and the E-clutch in there, put one snap ring in. And then you take this guy. Now it can only go in one way. Like that. It doesn't, the snap ring doesn't fit, it goes backwards, so it has to have this little lip pointing up. And then your other snap ring. Now we got this guy. So this also can only go one way. So this can only go one way. So like if you try to put it in that way, it fits nice and flush at the bottom. But if it's upside down, you can see how it's higher. So, there you go. Nice and flush. This guy has this little spacer that actually sits on there. And it's got these three little tabs, little prongs pointing upward. And those prongs sit in there. You gotta find the right position for them to sit. There you go. just noticed. Look at that. Looks like that took a hit. I'll replace that. And then, yeah, it's just a matter of trying to get everything splined up down here, so. So, once that's in, I'm just lining up the splines in here so it slides on easier. Now it's this one's turn. Alright, this thing's really fighting me, so we're gonna have to do it the third way. The third way, take out the clutch pack. Put that into place. Reinstall clutch pack again. Alright. Now, you might be wondering why didn't I just do that from the beginning, because it obviously is easier. And the reason is, I'm not done with this. I need to take some measurements of the C-clutch once I put it all back together. So, get your dial indicator out, and then adjust it with a different size snap ring to bring it into spec. You can't do it with this in there. I'm just reassembling it for demonstration because it's got to come back apart again. Anyway. So, get all your splines lined up on here. Alright, I'm just going to drop it in here. Unfortunately, doing that, it could separate a bit. We'll see. Next. Some here. Also, doesn't matter which way. This one, and there's going to be splines going in. You're going to want to put the splines down here. And lastly, this planetary carrier. And somewhere on the edge,
Eric, your parts are ready.
there will be a black mark somewhere on the edge. And you gotta line that. You gotta line it with the black mark right there. Alright. Now if nothing shifted out of place and it's all assembled correctly, the snap ring will just pop right in. If it's not going in all the way, then you gotta take it back apart and resettle everything because one of the clutches probably came apart a little bit. Easy.
Okay, parts ready.
Now, putting this clutch drum back in. Whole internal part. It's heavy, and you gotta get it splined in. But you have to have it drop in right. So set the parking hole. Put in your F clutch. Take a plate. The ledge that had that point down. And then this. Hey. And then just repeat that. This goes last. I'm not going to worry about the bead parts in there. It's not part of the TSB. Yeah. Now I got to take it all apart, do some measurements, find out what replacement parts we need. Got a lure for this one.